Good morning, my dear colleagues. Uh, Today, we are going to have a very wonderful session on research, novelty versus quality, by our distinguished, beloved speaker, Dr. R. Puglindi, from Salem Seven Arts College, Department of Computer Science. And before getting into the session, I hope everyone knows him very well, and there is no need for a brief introduction. Research. After getting into NAC or NARF, now it has been made very mandatory for even assistant professors, lecturers, and associate professors, whoever career it may be. Research is very, very must, and we have to play with this research area here at not only in teaching, research is everywhere in fields. Even when I'm going for a job for my students through placements, the HR are seeking how much they are interested in knowing new things through research. So for FDP, I hope this title will suit probably, and I thought that this title can be explained very well by our former BC HOD, BSc Computer Science HOD, and now government professor, Dr. R. Pulindi. With this note, I hand over the session to our chief guest. The session will go around 1 hour. At the end, I will again come for vote of thanks. Be stay online and take the note of important points. Thank you, sir, for joining us. Now the session is open to you.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank Dr. K.S.Ranagsamy for giving me an opportunity to present a lecture on research, novelty versus quality in this academic junction. Thank you very much. And advanced Teachers' Day wishes for everyone who are associated with the teaching and academic fraternity. And today's my agenda is issues associated with the research in terms of novelty and its quality. As far as this topic is concerned, I would like to register one quote here called "Innovation is the soul of knowledge," because the ultimate output of any research is innovation. In terms of a product, in terms of application, in terms of software, in terms of hardware, or whatever it is, it's a material that should be a new one. So that is the ultimate objective and goal of any research, either in PhD platform or MPhil platform, whatever it is. As far as this research is concerned, why we have to go for that? Because already you came across undergraduates, postgraduate, and the MPhil everything, even though the PhD is mandatory as far as UGC is concerned for higher education institutions, in particular faculty who are associated with the higher education institutions in India. The major reasons behind, or the major what we called inputs behind a research is that finally you will get a research degree. Of course, it enhances your image, it elevates your image in the academic community. And as a researcher, as a PhD holder, you have an ability to solve any problems associated with science, arts, mathematics, and other disciplines. To intellectual joy of doing some creative work and service to the society by the way of implementing, solving problems and implementing solutions which directly reach to the public, and to get respectability in the society, to get more financial assistance and projects from all academic bodies such as UGC, AICT, and other academic bodies in higher education institutions which are concerned under MHRD. My today's my presentation has been what we call classified into two. Phase one, research. What is that? And what are all the goals associated with that? And what are all the issues associated with that to accomplish the objectives of the research? And as far as is concerned, the output of the research or input of the research, whatever it may be, that has to be accepted by uh, or recognized by national bodies as well as international bodies in terms of publishing in journals and presentations in conferences, both national and international. So those two phases are accumulated and combined together to make quality of research or research in quality. The research, it consists of some phases. Try to understand, my dear friends, these are all the things. Don't think that these are all the things belongs to research or customized. Not like that. These are all the things, these are all the basic things associated with the research. When you go for doing research, you have to accomplish all these things step by step. And as far as research, track our interest, conceptual understanding, concept clarity, domain selection, survey and its consolidation, problem definitions, and to make a problem statement or research statement, and hypothetical statements, and followed by start your work and write whatever done, and the problems, and divide the problems into several chapters. And as usual, as IT research, we have to write algorithms, solutions, implementations, and results. And all these things have to be published. So that's what I have introduced as the second phase as publications. Research. What is that? Normally, actually, that searching and searcher is an old Greek word. It's a Greek word. A prefix has been added, called research. Normally, the research indicates or research illustrates or it requires new things, new innovations. It's a systematic investigation into reality to gain knowledge. What is that novelty? Why the novelty is mandatory as far as research is concerned? Because so we have defined things. We have a history. We have what we call the past things. All things are providing inputs to teach graduates and postgraduates. But research is an unique one. It is entirely different from graduate and postgraduate. Every contribution, whatever made by the students, it's a group contribution, and both teachers and students are involved in that contribution as far as graduation and post graduations are concerned. But research is an individual contribution. It's an uniqueness of every individual. That is why, as a researcher, we should show our results in the in the form of new things. So that is why novelty is a mandatory uh, word as far as research is concerned. What is that novelty, and why the novelty is mandatory for research? So you need not, as a researchers, you cannot introduce 100% new things or 100% novelty. But think is, whatever problem you have, at least few components or few elements have to be new, or few elements in terms of a new formula or new algorithms or new methodology. Whatever thing, it is depends upon your research. That has to be a new. It is your child. As research is concerned, as a researcher, you are the parent of your contribution. You are the parent of your contributions towards the research. So we should think on that point. And when we work for a research, when we do for a research, when we do a research, we should think on that. So at least you should focus, as a researcher, you should focus at least one or two elements in terms of formulas or in terms of algorithms, in terms of methodologies along with your research. A novelty might contribute to scientific progress, as stated by the philosopher Emile Lactus, that good research program are progressive. So, as I told in the previous uh, slide, track your interest and conceptual understanding. What is that? Don't search problems outside. Don't search problems outside. All the problems, they are inside. As a teacher, you can track your area of interest within your domain, within your classroom, within your staff room, within your campus. Subjects you learn, yes, plenty of subjects. Subjects you teach, subjects you taught, subjects you flourish. So these are the potential areas which are ready to provide inputs to your research, because already you have experienced and expertise with all these things. That is why you need not search problems outside. It's always within, inside. It's always in inside. So you can take inputs from your subjects, from your laboratories, from your students, from your institutions. So these are the potential resources to provide. The resources are ready to provide inputs. So capture the inputs and acquire the inputs. And try to attend more seminars and conferences. You need not write and you need not submit any articles related to your research initial stage. Just attend seminars. Attend seminars, interact with the resource persons, interact with the stakeholders, through which you can capture some points and you can make a comparison between your subjects, whatever you learn, whatever you teach, whatever you taught, whatever flourish with that concepts. So where you can get the points for your research. Concept clarity and domain selection. So already I told you that we cannot consolidate that entire subject like a network as a research. So every subject itself or every course itself, you have a several concepts. For example, in network, you have plenty of concepts such as security, such as traffic, such as performance, comparisons, communications, delay, jitter, congestion, bottlenecks. Likewise, every subject itself, you have plenty of concepts. You stick on with the particular concept. Computer network is a ocean. Just you can pick at least one fish as a concept, like security. So that is the area where you are going to work for next few years. You stick on that. So a object, your initial concept or initial work, where you are going to flourish or where you are going to work for next few years, it should be a real world object. Assumptions cannot be considered as a research, but assumptions can be considered as input, as a logic. So real world objects, applications. Don't think that security alone is a research. Network security alone is a research. That concept has to be interacted with the public domain. That is why already I told you your research is a service, it serves something to the society. So, security is a concept, of course, it is your research area that has to serve something to the society in terms of you can take the concept into outside outside the world, banking domain, medical domain, insurance domain, agricultural domain, or government agencies, whatever it is. So don't think that we should stable with our own concepts, subjective concepts alone, that has to be taken into or that has to be converted into public domain in terms of services will give the completeness of the research. Make interaction with the domain owners. So your clients, of course, the chief of the bank, or chief of the insurance, chief of the medical, or chief of the government agencies, whoever it is. Research is yours, but stakeholders are outsiders. So that is why try to learn concept along with the domain where you are going to insist your concept in terms of its services. That is the important point, and that is the mandatory as far as research is concerned. So you are going to work for public domain with the help of your own subjects in terms of tools. I am going to provide a security mechanism for Reserve Bank by using my own concept, network security, with the help of so and so algorithms. So that is the ultimate aim every researcher should have. Survey and survey consolidation. So already I told you that we had several assumptions in the form of empirical values, in the form of historical values, in terms of past values. Without touching the existing things, as far as research is concerned, you cannot introduce new things because foundations are always there. We should touch that by the way of collecting articles, collection of articles, go through the articles and get the abstracts of each and every article, consolidated, and from there you can select a problem, and that problem has to be defined. Check to see if your idea is original. Already I told you that for graduates and postgraduates, you need not worry about the novelty for some extent. But research from scratch onwards, the novelty is mandatory. Get articles. Go through the back volumes. You need not worry about year of publications and a generation of publications and like that. You start your survey from 1940s, 1950s, 1960s, no problem. And you start from back volumes and stop your process of the current issue. Read articles and their references, citations, quotes, everything, and find gaps. Find absolute measurements and results through which, as a research, we can define objectives of the study. Problem definition and tools identification. Once survey is over, once survey is over, as a researcher, we can get some spark. This is the area is missing. This is the area is lacking. This is the area to be improved. So that is the point where your research will be originated. The research will be initiated. So that point is the right place to write your problem statement. A problem statement is nothing. It's a single line statement, a two-line statement, or it's a paragraph which represents the entire version of the research to be to be implemented for next 3 to 4 years, followed by decide your tools and design your tools like apparatus, materials, software, hardware, and whatever it is, simulators. Everything has to be decided, has to be designed. Start to work and write. Once survey is over, problem has been defined, tools have been identified, start to work. Start your scripts like screenplay. That screenplay, you need not worry about the screenplay should be pakka. Do's and don'ts, absolutely immaterial. Whatever it may be in this screenplay. So write. And almost you came across 200 to 300 articles, existing articles, out of which you pick 10 to 15 articles, all existing articles, existing implementations. Try to implement it by using a normal languages, programming languages like C, C++, Java, whatever it means. Just implement it and track the results. And place all the results and place all the observations, whatever made in conferences. Don't think that you need not worry about the plagiarisms and duplications initially. Make a draft, draft. Keep on right, keep on right, keep on right. Make presentations rather than publications. Once your confidence level is increasing, you can go for publications. Once survey is over, problem statement has been defined, a small implementation has been over, implementations have been over, some of the presentations have been over. Now getting ready. Now you should be ready with the problem. The problem has to be divided into several small sub problems in terms of chapters. That is what we call the divide and conquer. It's an algorithmic approach, so you can follow it. Every individual problem, even though all are the entire problem having a same goal, having same objectives, having same potential, that is immaterial. During the research, every chapter, every part of the problem itself have a separate objective, separate input, separate process, and separate output. Don't forget that. Every individual problem will be treated as a research. So classification of chapters according to its nature. So here you should not supposed to consider size of the problem, pages of the problem, pages of the chapter, content of the chapter. In spite of that, you should consider the input, goal, objective, process, output of each and every chapter. As far as research is concerned, every chapter itself is unique. Integration is separate. Every chapter is unique. And linkage between the chapter. Don't think that each and every chapter is separate island. Please try to understand. Every chapter have a linkage. Every chapter have a relationship, a link between previous chapter or forthcoming chapters. and each and every chapter satisfying the objectives of the research, the ultimate objectives of the entire research. Then, algorithms, implementations, and results. Problem statement has been defined, and all your proposed methodologies. As I told earlier, algorithms, formulas, procedures, rules, methods, whatever it is, all are considered as proposed. Novelty, novel. All things have been described chapter wise, and each and every chapter has been executed, implemented, tested, get results, comparisons in terms of draft representations, everything. But don't forget that each and every chapter satisfy the goals, whatever defined initially. And once the work is over, chapter has been completed. So already I told you that I have to get international recognition or national recognitions. That is why every chapter it should be published. So we'll move on to publication ethics. So we'll move on to the second phase of the presentation, publications, research publications. Nowadays, universities, higher educational institutions, even academic bodies, UGC, AICT, all they have stated that every research article should be a novel and it should be published in reputed journals, not only publications, and it has to be indexing in the international worldwide databases called Scopus and Web of Science and other indexing scenarios. So that is why your article will be placed in national and international forums. So we should ensure our work is at least 70 to 80 percentage of ours. 10 to 20 percentage may be exception, negligible. But thing is, we should not supposed to forget the new things, and you are the admin and you are the parent of your article. So the ethics, nothing that it's yours. Your journal, your paper, your publication, your article, your work, 100%, not necessary, at least 80 percentage, it's yours. That is the ethics. So we have to follow that in a systematic way. Structure of the publication. Abstract, of course. It's the summarization of your work. Introduction, where you are going to introduce existing things, your objectives, and what you are going to perform as new. Literature review, already I told you, all existing things. So you can start from scratch. Here, the year of publication is not mandatory. Methodology, already I told you, a new form, new algorithm, new procedure, new rule, whatever it may be, it's new, it's yours. Results, of course. Results are representing that how much of efficiency or how much of performance your work is achieved when compared with existing things. That justification we should have because whatever domain you have, whatever subjects we have, but finally we should confirm our genuinity with in terms of numbers, in terms of numerals, discussion, illustrations, narrations, conclusion of the work, references, then annexures. All these things are a standard attributes for any publications. These are all the standard attributes of any publications as far as research is concerned. Of course, this is the structure. Abstract, as I said earlier, to briefly introduce the reader to aims of the study, methodology, results and findings. Introduction or your thesis statement. To state a clear overall purpose of the study, of course, objective of the study, and discussions. Literature's review, of course, to summarize what conclusions have been reached in research literature and different writers agree or not. Every publication, every article itself, obstacles, pitfalls, merits and demerits. We need not worry about the merit, but take we should take into account all demerits in every articles to highlight main issue and controversies around the problem. Controversies will provide inputs to your research. Methodology. To demonstrate that you are aware of the research methods used to study this topic, to explain and justify the method of data collection and analysis. Every stage of your research, every stage of your publication should have justification. Why it is, where it is, what it is, how it is. Results. To present the findings of our research in an orderly manner, using heading planned in your methodology or headings rising from patterns found in the research. Discussions, final discussions followed by conclusions and references. All references should be quoted, should be cited throughout the document or throughout the article, either alphabetical order or chronological order. It should be in IEEE format as far as computer science researchers are concerned. Then annexures to present relevant documents, reports, policies, etc. This is the what we call a short view on the structure of publication or structure of the article to be published. How to write. So we'll discuss things in a broader way. Abstract. It's a summary of body of information. Thesis may be in 200 or 250 pages, but the entire content, the entire container has to be minimized, has to be summarized in a tumbler level. The entire container of information has to be summarized in a tumbler, a glass level. All input, process, and output. What is that? How is that? Where is that? Everything has to be accumulated in the abstract. Abstract writing is art. It is expresses the main claim and arguments of the article. Yes. Why? Why? Why this research? Questions that an abstract answers. The following questions have to be answered. Your abstract has to be answered. Why did you do this study? Yes. Yes. What did you do and how? What did you find? What did you find in me? Because already I told you, don't think that your PhD research is equivalent to graduation and post graduation. In post graduation and graduations, they have a fixed syllabus. Students, they need not worry about whether it is existing or proposed. So according to structure, according to syllabi, according to curriculum, they have to act. That's all. But research is unique. It's an individual's property. You are the responsible person as a researcher. You are the responsible person to answer all these questions, not only in abstract area, throughout the research. Because you are going to place your document, place your work in public domain. Because your thesis and your work is going to serve to the society. So it is your work is going to in a real environment, going to work in a real environment. That point we should not supposed to forget. Introduction. So you are going to write an article for publication, either UGC CAR 1 or UGC CAR 2, Scopus indexing or Web of Science indexing, whatever it may be, or SCI, SEIE. Plenty of journals have been placed, and we have to identify which one is original, which one is authorized, and which one is cloned, everything. So wherever technology is there is an actor is there. So the primary purpose of an introduction is to frame the article for its readers. It should provide a brief description of the topic, scope of the study, why the topic's worth researching, and the objectives. Introduction itself, the thesis introduce itself. The thesis has to introduce itself, why it is, and what objectives it's going to achieve, and what its scope, how it reflected in the society. Everything has to be defined. So already I told you, research writing or article writing or thesis writing is not a normal note taking. Literature review. Again, what is the present state of knowledge regarding the topic under consideration? Questions. How are the studies related to the one being proposed? Yes, relevance, relationship. Already I told you, you cannot consolidate the entire domain as research. The part of the domain, at least one part of the domain and compartment of the container will be considered as a research. What is the quality of the studies reviewed? The article is good or bad. The article is worth or not. It is absolutely immaterial as far as survey is concerned. Every article is in account. So don't leave articles in terms of its quality articles. It's not quality, it's bogus. No, no, no. Every article itself, at least one point will make a spark. How will the proposed study contribute to the existing literature? This is the area where you are going to do some justifications by the way of introducing your objectives, your arguments. So that is the area what we call the controversy. Methodology. To demonstrate that you are aware of the research methods used to study this topic and to justify the research method approach you have taken on your study, like new algorithms, new comparisons, new formula, new procedures, or you are going to introduce a new equipment, whatever it is. Everything has to be justified. Why it is needed, and what scope and what benefit the method will give, will provide. Everything has to be taken into considered to be considered. And finally, to come up the consolidate everything in terms of brief summary of your findings. It is applicable for thesis and it is applicable for journal also. So this is the structure what we have to follow for making or writing any article to be published in national forum or international forum. And one more threat against the quality of the research, plagiarism. Because as far as research is concerned, a PhD research is concerned, we should control, we should confine our work with maximum 10 percentage of duplications. We should, beyond the what we called making copy and vomiting is absolutely illegal as far as research is concerned. 10% is normal. 10% is tolerable. We should not supposed we should not supposed to work beyond that. 10% copying is allowed, but 90 percentage of your work is your child. Because today the academic institutions have number of PhDs with publications, even though the duplication of existing things are enormous in every thesis, every library, every institutions are available. Things are observed by UGC, nationwide academic bodies, international academic bodies, particularly for PhD research. That is why they have introduced a tool to monitor the duplication level of article related to the thesis or related to the work clearly, because it is almost a virtual crime to take others' work and says it's ours. It is absolutely material and it is absolutely considerable point to assess the quality of thesis. So the tools are right to evaluate the level of duplications in every article as well as thesis. So passing someone's or else work as your own, whether we do the deliberately or not, maybe you may be harmed or you may be unharmed. As far as plagiarism is concerned, it is a punishable crime. It is almost equivalent to IPR cypher crime, which is comes under IPR Act. You will be penalized. So try to introduce each and every word in your thesis or in your article. Ensure that is new or not. The act of presenting another's work or ideas as your work. So these are all the various tools which have been introduced by academic bodies. Some of the tools have been listed here. One is Turnitin, costliest tool, but it is, as far as myself is concerned, it is worth for evaluating the originality of the thesis. Less than By using Turnitin, if you are achieving less than 10 percentage of plagiarism, you can proudly say your thesis is now in Grammarly. So almost it covers 91 plus billion web pages and 82 plus million published articles for searching each and every word of your thesis, whether it has appeared or not already in Grammarly. So you can check the thesis language and verbs, grammars, and everything apart from that plagiarism. And Urkund, this is the tool which has been recognized by Indian universities, especially UGC, the MHRD, for evaluating the originality of the thesis. Almost 1,000 universities all across India uh, recommended by UGC and MHRD. So it's some of the open source tools are there, but Urkund is paid tool. It's a costly tool. So it is what, as far as myself is concerned, to ensure our work is original or not. So already I told you. So you can do wonder in your thesis, no problem. You can do magics, no problem. You can do international level innovations, no problem. But that has to be approved and recognized by the national and international bodies, either in terms of patent, or either in terms of book chapters, or in terms of presentations, or in terms of journals, so publications, articles in journals. So this is the website. This is the front page of UGC CAR. So they have two classifications: Group 1, UGC CAR 1 journals and UGC CAR 2 journals. So here you can watch UGC CAR 1 and UGC CAR 2 journals. So here every researcher, not only a researcher, every academician, every teaching faculty must have a login and must have interaction with the UGC CAR group. So you can create a login as your own in the UGC group, where you can search plenty of journals in different domain: science domain, arts domain, and humanities domain. Whatever domain you have, plenty of journals, and you can identify original journals as well as clone journals, as well as pirated journals, everything. So this is the recognized area, the approved area, where you can find out the right place for your publication. So here already I told you, the left hand side is the group one. Here we have a list of journals associated with the group one, and once your article is published in the group one, you need not worry about the indexing. By default, it will be indexed. And whereas in the UGC CAR list, it has two categories. One is Web of Science. Already I told you, article has to be indexed in databases, worldwide databases, academic databases like Web of Science and Scopus. So the category one under group two, Arts and Humanities Citation Index and Science Citation Index expanded, SCI, SCI and SCIE, and Social Sciences Citation Index, as well as Scopus. So just to go through the UGC CAR list, It has thousands of journals. It's a massive database, a nationwide database. So which every faculty, every higher education faculty must have ID in UGC CAR list. It's don't think that it is only meant for PhD scholars. It's meant for every student who are associated with undergraduate or postgraduate in research. Then so try to get uh, authorization UGC CAR list and go through the all articles in the all groups. So try to find out the right path to place your article. So this is the where you can search the genuinity of the journal by using its ISSN or title or publisher name. So this is a screen which represents the searching. And as far as computer science research is concerned, I'd like to present some sample research areas in IoT. So already I told you, you have plenty of domains, plenty of concepts, plenty of subjects. So just I, I want to show some sample research areas in IoT, Internet of Things. So these are all the some sample research areas and not sample research areas. These are all the demanding areas, demanded areas. So if you are interested in IoT, so you can choose one of the topic as your research. So these are the emerging areas today, and the UGC and the other academic body AICT are ready to provide funds for the following researches because our Modi government is more concerned on smart cities. So now the project is booming. The projects related to smart cities are booming. So you can concentrate on that area if you are interested. So you can get funds also. You can get fellowships and funds also from UGC grants, right? So research topic, impact of Internet of Things, applications and smart villages, IoT enabled home appliances, optimizing IoT enabled services in the smart cities, and the Internet of Things in business, Internet of Things in cross-domain integration and the smart business model, and industry-specific process parameters, and optimizing real-time Internet of Things using big data computing platform, and the Internet of Things temperature sensor. So now the wearable devices, IoT-enabled wearable devices are arriving today in terms of wristband and wristwatches and ornaments. So to monitor the human's health. So all healthcare devices are arriving under medical domain. So more number of projects are needed from zero level to the research level. Likewise, the monitoring the temperature, GIS based research, and the security based research, as well as pharmaceutical industries. So already I told you, no things. Then blockchain, Internet of Things. It's a new emerging area. Blockchain, Internet of Things, because now we are living with Industry 4 and we are moving towards Industry 5 revolutions. So without deep learning, blockchain, and IoT, you cannot cross the paradigm of Industry 4 and Industry 5. So this is the area like deep learning, machine learning, IoT, blockchain. These are the emerging areas where you can place your interest in terms of research. And these are all the potential challenges associated with the IoT. So these are all the inputs why we have to do research in IoT. Computing, distributed system, big data integration, distributed intelligence, data confidentiality, object authentication, hope by hope, and end-to-end encrypted data, privacy, trust. Of course, these are all the security issues, not only for IoT. Wherever communication is there, these are all the things are challengeable, and that part has to be considered as a research for today's scenario. And these are all the some research tools associated with the IoT, in particular IoT research, OpNet, NetSim, NS3, MATLAB, Linux, Kuja. And this is the research environment like SDK environment, React, Contiki, TinyOS, LightOS, and again some challenges. Why the more n number of more and more researchers are needed for IoT, communication challenges, security goals, security attacks, security mechanisms, challenges in heterogeneity, everything. So these are all the areas you can pick some topics and pick some inputs for research. I hope that I have covered all things and all things associated with the objectives behind this seminar. Thank you very much. Any queries, please raise your questions and queries. I'm ready to respond. Thank you.
If there, yes, sir. If there is any questions, just you can give your comments in the below section, and I will forward to sir. Sir, as it is live session, I will collect the queries and send you within an hour.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, now this is the time for our vote of thanks. On behalf of KSR College of Arts and Science Autonomous Management, principal, dear faculty, and students, I hope you all enjoyed this session, and we have to pay our thanks to Dr. R. Puglindi, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science, Salem 7 Arts, for his valuable presentation and sparing his time on Sunday also. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Venkatesh. Thank you very much,
Okay.
and all faculty members. Thank you very much for your passion listening. Thank you very much.
Okay. With this, we are going to end the session, and feedback form is sent in through the WhatsApp message. Just fill the feedback form, and I will give a report on the seminar. Sir, I will forward the report and the feedback form to you within an hour.
Okay. Take your own time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us on Sunday also. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay.